of so this is Praveen, and I'm working on JavaScript from my very beginning of my career. So the JavaScript was very navy or very new in those days, but along with the JavaScript, even I grown in my career. Okay, so my love towards JavaScript is such that very beginning of my career, they asked me which one you want to choose. You want to go for JavaScript or Python? So I opted for JavaScript, not because of any reason. The thing is, I need not to install so many things for Python, whereas JavaScript was so easy. Where if you have browser, you can start working with it. And the second thing is, it is so colorful. Python was not so colorful, whereas JavaScript was so colorful. So I opted for the JavaScript, and I took it as my career, and it's my passion. So now I started with Angular.js. After 3 years on working on Angular.js, eventually I entered into Angular. Then I started working with React.js. Even before these three, I worked for jQuery, Backbone.js, Ember.js, mm, Knockout.js. These are the frameworks what I have worked on. Later, completely once AngularJS started, AngularJS, Angular, and React. These are the technologies. So now I am working with Next sometimes, Next sometimes, kind of. Okay. So with all the experience, I would like to explain the difference between Angular and React. With this particular session, maybe at least you can answer 3-4 questions in your interviews. Okay, one of the major question is what is the difference between Angular and React? This is the preliminary question for any interview. Okay, so first and foremost thing is, first of all, I just want to cover up some of the fundamental, what do you say, theoretical answers, and then I will move to little, I mean, not little, move to more concentrated technical differences. That means syntactical or approach oriented differences. I will go with the next part. So if you like it, then please give me a good comment. And if you want more details, join our classes. I will be discussing more than 45 days on this entire course. Every day, 1.5 hours will be taken. The complete end-to-end JavaScript, TypeScript, Angular, or React. Okay. More than 5,000 members of successful alumni is there with us. Some of them are selected in Google recently, the first candidate out of our kitty. Yeah, other than that, Deloitte, these kind of companies are regular from our institute. So let us go, let us not waste the time. Thank you for listening me so far. Let us jump into the differences between Angular and React. So fundamentally, the natural difference is Angular is a complete framework. It's a complete ecosystem. Whereas React.js is just a library, which is just going to give you the easiest and fastest way to create UI. So before Angular and React, I want to answer you one more question. That is, what is the purpose of JavaScript? Yes, JavaScript makes dynamic websites. But most of the people failed to answer this question. What exactly you mean by dynamism? What is the dynamic nature the JavaScript is going to provide in you in the web application? That is where the people are missing. The dynamic nature is so simple. For example, now we are in the Google Word doc here. So can you see here, there is something called click here. There is an up arrow. So now the top menu bar is uh, down. Yeah, I know him. Murari, old student. Okay, kuchama. Guys, 1 minute. Murari, ఊరికే వచ్చావా అంటున్నాను. కళ్యాణి తెలియకపోవచ్చు నువ్వెవరు. So we are discussing about Angular and React differences, but before that I was talking about JavaScript. Most of the people say this answer, JavaScript is dynamic website. I don't know, even they don't complete the sentence also, most of the people. Dynamic website, dynamic website. What do you mean by dynamic website? Basically, PHP creates the dynamic websites. JavaScript basically does, at least plain answer. Sir, JavaScript will validate the forms. Wonderful. That's enough. That is also good enough. At least you should have started from there. JavaScript can perform additions, subtractions kind of work. JavaScript is having for loop, whereas HTML and CSS doesn't have the for loop. JavaScript is having control over HTML and CSS. If you say this, that's it. JavaScript is having the control over HTML and CSS. What do you mean by control? Yes, hiding, showing, or changing the style. All these possibilities are there with JavaScript. For example, here there is a header over here. Difference between Angular and React.js, file menu, all these things, share and all. If I click on this particular icon, that entire part got changed. I mean to say, disappeared. Again, if I click here, it will be. So I will show you 1 minute. I'm talking about this. So this is possible by JavaScript. Other than that, JavaScript actually generates the UI. Basically, JavaScript can create HTML elements in the dynamic way. If you are able to answer this question, then it will be best. JavaScript can generate HTML elements. You want to generate a table. So just give array of objects to the JavaScript. JavaScript can generate the whole table. For example, here we go. If you want to create such a table in the web page, then JavaScript can do it. So that is also possible, generating the table. So you may be asking me the question. For example, I will ask you that question. Anybody can answer me this question. When HTML is already able to create the HTML tables, then why should I develop the tables, or why should I generate the tables by using JavaScript? My question is, when already the HTML is able to do it, then why do you need to generate the tables again? Yeah. So we got an answer here. Let me check out. Yeah. Vasanta Lakshmi. Nice. Why do you need it? Dynamic creation. Yes, correct. What is the need of dynamic creation? Why do you need that dynamic creation? Yes. For example, when you go with, for example, well, let us take the Gmail. So the Gmail, when you open the Gmail, it is not only one particular static page. The same code will generate that kind of total Gmail for Praveen Gubbala as well as Praveen G classes. For both the accounts, the code will not be changed. Only the data will be changed. The data is the change. So generation of HTML always needed. Otherwise, you have to keep on writing the code for every page. So to avoid that, we definitely need JavaScript to be used, isn't it? Yeah. So that is why I gave you this particular point. JavaScript generates the HTML and CSS. Okay. So first point, JavaScript can perform arithmetic and logical operations on the web page, whereas HTML don't know how to perform it. Maybe this example already many people must have seen this, but still I would like to give you. When you write a HTML, this is a plain page, H1 10 plus 20. 10 plus 20 gives you 10 plus 20, because HTML don't know what is this plus operator. But whereas JavaScript knows what is the plus operator and how to use it. Okay. So here, if I say in the JavaScript, we have console.log of 10 plus 20. If you see the output, it will give you 30 as the answer. That means JavaScript knows how to perform the arithmetic and logical operations. JavaScript knows how to iterate the loops, like for loops, conditionally execute the code. That is also possible. JavaScript can make the reusable code. How JavaScript can make a reusable code? Anybody can answer me this question? Please try. That means if you are mistaken, then I can correct it. Yeah, excellent, Surendra. The very nice answer is function. So when you put the code in a function, it can be reused. So reusable code is possible, and then by using DOM, you can make the JavaScript to create HTML elements dynamically, or modify the HTML elements, or modify the style, or overall control it. Even form handling is also in this process. JavaScript can take the data from the form, validate the data of the form, and collect the data from the form. All these are possible by JavaScript. That is the fourth one. After that, JavaScript can make API calls. JavaScript can get the data in the background. JavaScript can update the page without reloading the page by using DOM. So these kind of elaborative answers will help you to impress the interviewer. So you have to focus on this point. Just don't stop the answer with dynamic HTML, dynamic pages, dynamic web page. No, 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 no. Please, please, please. I'm not sarcastically, what is a commenting your answers. I'm just saying that these answers will badly affect in the interview. Make it very elaborative, as much as possible. Speak out. Only then interviews will be successful. Only then. That's how we are. Do you go, 2017? I don't know what is React in those days. I was an Angular developer, but I came to know that React and Angular both are similar. So I went to the interview and I cracked it. How? The very simple reason is I kept him within the JavaScript and ES6 and TypeScript. Only I got two questions. What is ReactJS? I said it's a library. We need extra libraries to make it a complete project. That answer got successful. And one more question was, uh, how do you manage the state? I know that answer also. That is through Redux. So they selected me. But unfortunately, I don't know the complete React by that time. But I cracked everything from JavaScript. So try this and let me know. But now we are entering into the bigger point, that is JavaScript can make asynchronous functional activity. That means Ajax calls, synchronous function calls, asynchronous function calls, concurrency. All these things can also be possible by JavaScript. And also, JavaScript is object oriented. Now, maybe not 100%, but it is now object oriented principles can be achieved by JavaScript. That means entire application can be done properly with JavaScript. So these are the points I want to give you about the JavaScript. Now let us go to the point as Angular and React.js. So to develop any application, the bare minimum programming language is not just sufficient. It is something like, I'll tell you the whole story. Recently, here one hotel not some tiffin center. I can say tiffin center, or we can say क्या बोलते हैं, hotel restaurant types. Okay, नाश्ता करने का जो, हाँ. So they are very bare minimum. That means there is a stove, and they don't have even proper vessels, no proper setup at all. So most of the time it was so hush push. That means they are unable to deliver in time. They don't have the papers. They have to clean the plates every time. So that means it shows the immaturity of by them. Their immaturity. That means they don't know how to organize the hotel, how to organize the tiffin center. But of course, yes, after some time, they installed a lot of things. That means the cleaning part is automated. That means they just kept it. It is clean, and all these process improved, and now it is a very big hotel. For example, do I need any big infrastructure for what is that advanced garage? So I don't know whether you have ever seen. Okay, let me say car garage. So do you think a car garage need all these kind of big infrastructure? Yes, if it is there, then it will be easier for us to maintain it. The same way, Angular is a very sophisticated garage. That means it is having all the tools, machines, everything. Okay, one more thing. I have not this office. This office was very raw. Those people built it with bare hands. Okay, so one of my friends, what you say, interior. I tried. I mean, I just what you say, suggested them. So I called one very good interior designer with everything. That means he calculated the length and breadth of the whole house with the laser. And seriously, laser. And he was telling me that, sir, this wall is having a slope and there is a bump in here. Idanta jodala. Do you need to get it into it? Yes. To get I need the 100% accuracy. So they just created everything. They gave me the right plan of action. And just imagine, within 2.5 days, they completed the groundwork. Complete. Every machinery they, they brought into the home place, and they installed, and on the second day evening, they collected the money and they went out. Just imagine. Such a speedy, if you have the complete infrastructure from the day 3, your business will be started. The same way, Angular is having everything. You need not to install a separate HTTP module, or that kind of separate things are not necessary. Angular is having complete framework for state management, of API calls, routing, form handling. For all these things, yes, Angular is having its solution. Whereas React is just a library, and it is just only for showing the UI. That means it is just the DOM creation of the UI with a better way. That's it. Nothing else. But Angular is not like that. It's a complete framework. So you must be asking me a question. Why you are promoting Angular more than React? No, no, no. Listen. I am not a fan of anything. Okay. Yeah. So Angular gave me good bugs from consultation work. React.js gave me good bugs from students and more number of jobs. Of course, Angular gave me something like Google, PayPal, uh, Coca-Cola, Uber, these kind of companies. Yes, Angular gave me that level. But more number of jobs, more than for the last 1.5 year, more than 45 to 50 React jobs I could able to produce. I am not lying. This is the actual word. I don't have more than that. I am not saying that 200 jobs I have produced or 400 jobs I have produced. I have produced only 45 jobs because they were only the sincere people. I'm very sorry. Come back. React JS is having limitations. The beauty of the simplicity is you can be friend with anybody. That means I am a gully fellow. So gully fellow will become friend to everyone. He is so flexible. He will come to Vinayak Chauthi, Ganesh Chaturthi, and he will dance. He will write IIT exam and he can go to everything. There is a flexibility in the React JS. That means it can be interacting and it can be adopting every other possibility. But Angular is like a very sophisticated, high class stupid. Okay. Everything will be there in the house, but friends will not be there. Only the TV, Netflix will become their friends. Just like that. If you go and enter into Angular, you will have only Angular is your life, nothing else. Nothing else. That means you need not touch any other people. Everything will be available. Okay. Angular is like a 5-star hotel. I am not saying React.js is a, 0-star hotel. I feel like it is like a chowpat or it is like a drive-in. You can take anything. Okay. Sorry. Let us go into the next. It is more opinionated. That means what you have, if you need to do the thing like this means you have to do it only in this way. You can't look here and there. When it comes to React.js, you can do it in any ways. It is so friendly. अच्छा बेटा ऐसे नहीं करना है तो ऐसे करो. ऐसे भी नहीं करना है तो ऐसे करो. So this is unopinionated and flexible. This is little old. JavaScript and JSX. TypeScript first. The problem with Angular is you have to follow TypeScript. But React.js also follows TypeScript. But if you don't want, you can avoid it. That is the only difference. Architecture and data binding. So this Angular is, it is similar. Angular is from Google. Facebook is from, React is from Facebook. So you can understand the difference, right? Facebook is like a chichora. Google is like very 3-suit piece fellows, right? Very structured. I don't find any difference. For your kind information, Angular is actually mimicking React.js. Actually, Angular is trying to get all the features of React.js into Angular. Okay, that's their war. That is not our problem. But Angular follows MVC and MVVM pattern. This is also the same. React also follows the same. But the communication is not same. Until and unless you write some code, you may not understand this. What is MVVM or MVC? For example, if you are developing a component, the complete view will be in the HTML. The data structure is in the TypeScript, and controller is in the TS class file. Okay. So the component is divided into three parts. Whereas, can I have, yes, of course, Jyoti. Yeah. Whereas that is okay. Leave that. Don't worry about it because you need to see what exactly is that. Two-way data binding, yes. Two-way data binding is achieved by Angular with NG model. There is a different directive we have. React follows only one-way data binding. Two-way data binding can be achieved by that will be possible only by event mechanism. So by default, it will be having only one-way data binding. So how this two-way data binding and one-way data binding works, we will see that. I'll come back to that. And React follows virtual DOM, whereas Angular follows real DOM. Okay, the original JavaScript DOM, whatever there, that is being used by Angular. And learning curve, Angular is little steeper. Don't worry, Praveen is here. Okay, I will tell you how to understand Angular in a simplified way. But one thing is there, that is TypeScript. So you should be patient enough to have the TypeScript. Okay, and the number of keywords are more in Angular. Pipes, directives, modules, services, what else? Dependency injection, um, singleton services, reactive forms, template forms, dynamic forms, dynamic routing. It is something like yo-yo type of people. Okay, Angular is like Gen Z. Okay, I don't know what's her name. Ravina Tandon's की daughter जो है ना, उसकी तरह. Even they say our hero ऋतिक रोशन को ओल्ड बोलता है. ठीक है, चलो क्या बोल रहे हैं अभी. हम तो ओल्ड ही तो है. हाँ, बट यस, एंगुलर इज मोर ऑफ लाइक दैट, बट रिएक्ट इज लाइक संजू बाबा. संजू बाबा जैसा रिएक्ट मतलब अमची मुंबई, वी आर लाइक दैट. Okay, very raw people. Okay, so React.js is gentle. You can learn step by step, and ecosystem exploration is very much needed. That means only React doesn't give you job. Along with React, you need lot of other libraries. So that is needed. Don't worry, I am there. Will maintain. In the point of state management, Angular follows RxJS, but now it is also changing to NGRX Redux implementation. Whereas React follows very flexible Redux and Gestand, Jotai, Recoil. So I just want to tell you what we are, and I want to tell you how my life journey goes. So these keywords are now displayed, or now people are speaking about them. Just go to my channel, please subscribe, and please like my channel, Praveen Classes. And here you can go to Praveen Classes. And where is the search? Yeah, here it is. In the search, type Redux. I'll tell you. So here, 2 years back, Redux toolkit we were discussing. So there are so many videos which are very old, in fact. Okay. Okay. I want only shorts. How to search the shorts, man? అంటే ఓన్లీ షార్ట్స్ ని సెర్చ్ చేద్దామని అనుకుంటున్నా. Only Redux, these many free videos are there. You can take up and you can judge me. Please don't forget to like, okay? Just and okay. ఇదిగో అమ్మయ్యా. Can you see this video? So I kept this video very long back, maybe 1 year around. Sorry, I don't have the date and time somehow here. Chalo, ठीक है. Not an issue. I will check it out and I'll let you know. But see, this is what we are. I am not only teaching you only Redux. I will give you recoil, mobx, gestant, jotai, rematch, hook state. These are the different alternates for the state management in React. So these are all will be discussed, at least what exactly they are. And if you want, we will give the videos also. You can go through and, for example, I'll tell you. When you go for JD, I mean, so when you go for any interview, in the JD, they must be mentioned Jotai. Knowing Jotai will be an advantage for in the interview, if that is the case. So our videos helps you. You need not to worry about the Jotai in the beginning, in the course of time. When the interview happens, then you can make use of it. As well as one of my very popular videos is GraphQL. Of course, we will discuss this also in the class, but along with that, you can make use of how it works, what it is exactly doing. All these things I am going to discuss every point. The only thing is you need to look at that and get the idea where exactly you need to use. Okay. So I am covering all these things, guys. You just need to get into the picture. That's it. Okay. So here, sorry, I just went beyond. That is, for state management, Angular follows RxJS and NGRX. But whereas React is having lot of alternates, but mostly we will be using Redux and Redux Toolkit. As simple as that, it is less opinionated. You can have the freedom to select anything. The bigger problem is in Angular, the versions and their libraries are not easy. That particular compatibility things are too nonsense. Whereas Redux and their libraries compatibility is more friendly. So you will get to adjust to that. But Angular, that problem is still there. But if your company updates the Angular version along with the current version, then there will be no issue. Because I worked for two big companies. I can say that. One is KeyBank. Okay, that is one American bank. And another company, another bank is DBS. So KeyBank follows everything. Every update you have to update your application. If any new update comes, it is stabilized, then you have to update it. But React, I mean, React is not having any such problem. You can update it easily. So this is about your process. In the performance, it is very difficult to tell you. It's not in our hands. For me, when it comes to small scale applications like e-commerce application or social networking application, ReactJS is very good, beautiful. It's so speed. But when it comes to large scale applications, For example, banking, insurance, retail, telecom, and shipping. For all these applications, we are shipping in the sense that is called as supply chain. For all these things, you have to go for Angular. Okay. So the stability is more in Angular, adaptability is more in React.js. Make a note of all these words. Adaptability. What do you mean by adaptability? If you want to include any new technology into the application, you can plug and play with React.js based development. That will not be possible with Angular. If you really want to add anything new, 1000 बार सोचना पड़ेगा ये गलत काम करने से. Before doing that mistake, you have to think for at least 100 times. So that's how the difference comes. Then use cases, that's what this fellow said, large scale enterprise applications. Okay. And then progressive web applications and requiring a fixed structure. Then go for Angular. Dynamic SPAs. What do you mean by dynamic SPAs? The requirement must be changing so frequently, especially this social marketing or social media kind of applications are so complex. So, I mean, their needs will be changed so dynamically. Then you go for React, and reusability is high. If you have more reusable components, then go for React.js. Cross-platform application development. That means the web application developed by Durga, Sri Durga. Wanna say something? Okay. So cross-platform, this word is very important, my dear. If you develop an application in React for web, the same thing can be easily used in mobile apps. Is that flexible? Murari is here. Murari already do that many times. Yes? No? చేయొచ్చు కదా ఈజీగానే చేయొచ్చు కదా దాన్ని చేసుకోవచ్చు బట్ వెన్ ఇట్ not only cross platform in a sense, different mobile platforms. I am talking about web application to mobile application. Is it easy? When it comes to Angular, there is Ionic, but it is not that easy. That's the difference. It's not that easy. That's the only point. It's possible, but it is not easy. But whereas React, it's a smooth curve. So this is the difference. Okay, those people who really want the video, please ping us. I will share the video with you, as well as I would like to share this document also with you, how this is possible. So now I would like to just create a simple, simple application, both in React as well as in Angular. Okay, so that the motive will be completed. So hope you are all patient enough to do so. So here, let me create 2 terminals. So to create Angular application, you need Angular CLI. So what is Angular CLI and how to use Angular CLI? Already I have given in the videos. Just go to my classes. Go to my classes in the videos. You will find out in the very latest. Can you see this Angular20 project setup? I have given with a very detailed explanation around the bugs, how to fix them and how to use them. This is all up to you how to use it. Now, anyways, I will show you how to make it React. So ReactJS installation, just type it. And when you click on installation, it will show you some of the options. So build React app from scratch. So here is the command, install a build tool. So the build tool is Vite, and copy this command and type it here. npm create Vite latest. Okay. And my app with the template React. Okay. This is straight away creating the React application. Probably already my app is there in my computer. So I will cancel the application. In this case, I would like to have RB53 app demo app. So it created the demo app. And what I need to do is I'll show you how the demo app is there. Here I'm opening the Visual Studio Code, and through that RB53, right? I'll open this. So here there are all the setup files as well as the basic source code. But to run the application, you need some library files. Those are all not available right now. That is possible, that is there in the node modules. So for that, what to be done is already given. That is, go to that folder and then run npm install. So here, okay, 1 minute. Go to the terminal. That means through terminal, I will go to RB53 demo app. Then I have to type npm install. Okay. In the meanwhile, I would like to create another terminal. So here I need, okay, I need to start create the Angular application. So for that, ng new ang53 demo app. So I am using CSS. I would like to have server side rendering. Okay. So it is installing. So here a React application got installed. And here the Angular application is getting installed. Let it get installed. After that, okay. Both the applications I would like to open. Yes. My application is successfully installed. After installation, even here also, I have to go to that particular folder, ang53 demo app. So here this is RB53 demo app. Here it is ang53 demo app. So once I go into it, in the React, you have to start it like this: npm run dev to start the server. So the npm is used for starting the server. I mean, starting the application in React. In Angular, we use ngserv. This is fine. Or else you can also use npm start. Eventually, this is also going to do the same thing. In the ReactJS, npm run dev. In the Angular, we are using npm start. Yes, if you know package.json properly, if you know NodeJS, you can modify that easily. That's not a big deal, but use it. I'm going with ngserv, guys. Enter. So here also building is happening. The local server is running on, my React application is running on 5173 port. So I'll go to the browser, and here I will say localhost 5173. This is the React application. What do we have? The same way, Angular application is also there. This Angular application is running on 4200. So I'll use please don't mind here localhost colon 4200. So this is the left side. This is the default React application with Vite, and the right side, this is the default application with the Angular CLI. Right? So I need to open both the applications. In this, I have opened the React application, and I would like to create one more. And this time I would like to open the Angular demo application. This is a comparative study. So some people really like it. For remembering it is easy. Those people who are completely new, they feel confused. I know, but just to carry with me. That's it. In the regular classes, we will definitely do it more composed way. So here, if you observe in the Angular, you have a folder called Angular VS Code kind of things. These kind of folders are not available in React because that is not necessary for React. In the React, we have node modules folder, which is having all the package files. In the public folder, we will be having the public properties. Even in the React application also, we have SVG icon. Even in the Angular application, we have Angular icon. This is not a big deal, but for both the things, the SRC is common. So in the SRC, we actually have the application code. Both here and here, we'll be having application code. So in the SRC, you have this kind of structure, and this is here. We have an app folder. In that app folder, app component and related activity will be there. Okay. Now, other things are not necessary. Directly, we'll go to app component. In the app component, here, this is called as app.jsx. In the Angular, we'll call it as app.component.ts. In the JSX file, we will be having all the HTML, data, and the logic, everything here only in React. Because React is like 1 BHK. Hall is itself the guest room, hall is itself the TV room, study room, dining room, playroom, bar sometimes. So, hall is everything. But when it comes to big people, they have everything separate. There will be some room for home theater, there will be a separate room for gym, there will be a separate room for exercise. Every reading room, they have reading room, they will be having guest room, they will be having puppy room, store room. There are so many rooms. So Angular will follow that structure. Whether they have money or not, they will be creating. Folders are free, no? So they will create. So everything, everything will be separate over here in Angular, but React is 1 BHK. You have to adjust with this kind of way. So now my point is, in app component, the single component file is divided into 4 files. One component is divided into 4 files, whereas app component is bloody one single file. Okay, only one, not many things like this. Only once. Okay, that's fine. Now Angular features are implemented in React also. In React toolkit, we are calling it as slice. Slice is nothing but a TS file. It's similar. Okay. So anyways, so here I will go to the HTML part and I will remove everything and I will type h1 welcome Edupoly Angular classes. And here I will remove everything, buddy. And I will just keep a division. And in that, I will have a h1 welcome to Edupoly ReactJS classes. So now if you see, both the applications are up and running. So where you have to change the code for the very first place, that is in React, this is called as app.jsx. In Angular, we call it as app component. But unfortunately, the component here size is 4. 4 separate files. This specs file is basically a testing file. You can remove it for now. You don't need. Only if you have any styling, use app.css. Otherwise, directly go for HTML file for template and a component TS file for logic. So as I mentioned so many times, Angular comes along with all the sophisticated things, isn't it? One of the sophisticated thing I would like to show you, that is called as app.route.ts. That file is already created and it is already configured. Whereas React.js doesn't have that kind of file is. So you have to create it, you have to install it, and then you have to create it and you have to use it. So that's what Angular and React are differentiated. Angular will be having everything in the place, but React, you have to bring them into the place. So while we are implementing a simple counter, how Angular and React will behave differently. So for now, I need app.ts file and app.component file, HTML file. So I will be using only these two. Here also, yeah. So that you will feel better. App.jsx is only one file, so I can directly use it. I'm going freshly. I want to create a counter in React and Angular. So counter is nothing but a value which will be changed by the actions, and that will be displayed and interacted with the UI. So to implement that, I need to create a counter first. Okay, relax. So whenever you want to implement one work, please, I must have repeated the same thing in all my previous demo classes. And I will repeat the same thing even in my future demo classes. The point is state, action, and UI. So whatever the work you have been given, all my students think that these three things. What is the state of it? What is the data? what is the action I need to use, and how to show it. My students are very clear about it, and they will complete the work by 5:30. Do you agree with me, Murari? మనం వర్క్ మనం కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుని మనం వెళ్ళిపోతామా? మనం సింపుల్గానే ఉంటాం కదా, మనకు అన్ని తెలియకపోవచ్చు, కానీ మనకు తెలిసిన దాన్ని మాత్రం మంచిగా తయారు చేసుకుని మనం పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోతాం. హడావిడి ఏమైనా ఉంటుందా మనది? దట్స్ Edupoly. So whatever the work you want to do, you have to implement this way. State, that is a data. I want to maintain the data. So for that, I will create a variable here, and we call it as state variable. Where count comma set count is equal to react dot use state. Of course, you may not understand this for now. Please give me a minute. So I'm creating a state variable. What is a state variable? State variables are reactive variables. Whenever you update the state variable, it will automatically re-render the whole component. That means it is very reactive. For example, my son is very good fellow. If you pinch him, he will say, why you are wasting energy on me? Go and work. ఇంత మామూలు ఇట్లా ఉంటాడు అనమాట. అదే ఇప్పుడు if you pinch my daughter, she will throw everything off the house, whether whoever have done that. She is very reactive, hyper. So the same way, this C is hyper. If you update that C value, it will re-render the whole component. మొత్తం అంతా సర్దుతుంది అది. But when but normal variables, if you update them, they will not be re-rendered. So that is what we learn in the classes. But here I would like to show you count is C. Here, whoever the 17 members are here, thank you for staying with me with the patience. Now you understood the first point. You are going to get the very first important point, that is data binding. That is called data binding, and we call it as one-way data binding. Shekhar, class lo unna Shekhar. నేను చేస్తా, ఒక పావుగంట చేస్తే ఓకేనా? రైట్ చేస్తా. ఓకే, sorry. Where we are? Data binding. What is data binding? This is the question, interview question they will be asking you. What is data binding? Showing the data of the state variable in the HTML JSX is called as data binding. So here I am binding that particular variable within the HTML. Imagine, I will open one more tab. Wait a minute. Yeah. Somebody wants to. Okay. Here it is. Imagine. In pure JavaScript, is it possible to have the data binding? Here I have a h1 with the counter is, I need to display here. And in the script tag, I have a variable. How can I put this X value into this h1? అర్థమవుతుందా? అసలు ఇది పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందా? How can you put this X value into the h1? Yes, it is possible. Where you want to put, you have to put a span there. Give an ID to this, and you have to say that document dot get element by ID of D1 dot inner text is X. So now it will happen. But when it comes to React, I need not to do that anything. I just make use of these two brackets. Automatically, the React.js will bring the data and it will be putting it over here. And what is this concept called? Data binding. And it is happening only one way. That is why it is one way data binding. Whereas in Angular, let me do the same thing in Angular. Here I can create a variable, normal variable, not even signal I am using. Already I have done with the signals in the last class. Go with that if you want. Count is equal to 0. That's over. And then in the app component, I will create another h2. Counter is double brackets. In Angular, we are using double brackets. And that inside the double brackets, whatever the variable name I use, this is count, right? Okay, count. Count. Save and see the output. Oh my God, I have not saved. Okay. Here also counter is printed. Amma? Chasing. Renitlo వచ్చింది output. Counter. Just I will bring everything on the grounds. Ida. Okay, save చేయలేదా? In app component. What is happening? Okay, relax. Where are you, Vida? Here there is something called all imports are unused. That's okay. Now you can see. No. Angular sometimes gives you that kind of building errors. You just stop it, the server, and check it, restart it. So now both are able to show you that. But here my question is, in Angular, whatever the UI we have created, here we are using double brackets, double braces, and we call it as data binding, but with interpolation. In Angular, we use double brackets. In React, we use single brackets. And both the way places, we call it as data binding. And Angular is having one more extra name called interpolation. What is that? Interpolation. Clear? Super. So now, how to implement with increment and decrement? Just I will show you that also. Here I can create a button, button button increment. Here also I need a button, button button increment. So in the React.js, when we click on it, on click is equal to, this is how we bind the event handlers in React. In Angular, we have a separate syntax. Click is equal to increment, which is simple. I'm not worried about it. First of all, leave that nonsense. Both are actually equal, but some people follow differently. And now I have to define this increment function. I will define in the component itself, function inc. And to update this set c value, I have to use setter function with the c of c plus 1 for incrementing. And when Angular comes, this increment function, I am supposed to implement it in the TS file, that is component logic file. Here, function, sorry, not function, that is increment, open bracket, close bracket, this dot count plus plus. So it will take up the count value and it will directly increment. So to increment the variable value, we directly can update it. But in React.js, we had to use setter function to update the variable value. So whenever we update the value with the setter function will have to call the whole component again and it will re-render it. But here in Angular, we have a mechanism called change detection. Whenever there is a change detection in the variables, it will automatically re-render this component. And now save both the files and see this increment. That's it. There is nothing more than that. And I would like to conclude the workshop or the master class with a simple one more example. That is, when I have some data, for example, where students, because I am not updating anything directly, I am using where students is equal to react dot use. Sorry, I don't want anything. In the array, I would like to have some student names. Okay. So Salma, hi. Jennifer Lopez, Brittany Spears. Sorry, Brittany, if I'm wrong. Shakira. Sir, we are not from your generation. I am very old fellow. One more upon and hey, very nice singer. Okay, Praveen Gubbala. I'm also a singer. Okay, chalo. Okay. So these are the students, and how I can display these students in the UI. So to display the students in the UI, I have a different mechanism here that is called as JSX expression. Funny, JSX expression. In this, I will take students dot map of. I will take up each student and I will return an li for each student. So by using map method, I am returning a different list item for every student, and that this different list item will be stored inside the UL. So now if you see the output, I am able to see Salma, Haik, everybody is here. So now copy the same number of students and put it here in the Angular application. Of course, we should not use where directly apply this. Students are here, but how do you print them in the HTML? I will take up a UL and I will run the for loop. So here the for loop is ng for. You need not any brackets or anything. Directly these directives can be used. ng for that is std of students. and track $index. So this is a syntax, and here you need not to return anything. You just apply li double brackets std. Oh, students. In fact, both are able to display the same thing, but the difference you can observe. Whichever you feel cleaner, whichever you feel fine, then go ahead. Especially those people who are coming from Java background or .NET background, they feel like Angular is so easy. उनके साथ Java React.js कभी होगा ही नहीं. Very difficult in React.js. They feel like hell. They are not into this, what you say, imperative way of creating elements. They are declarative. This is called templating. I know I am from a generation where there was no JSP, there was no PHP. Only that is called CGI scripting. From there, I started my life. So I have seen them. What exactly PHP is doing, what exactly JSP is doing. Of course, JSP was there in back in USA, but in India, J2EE, अगर किसी को J2EE आता है तो वो अंदर. So my point is this. So this is different and this is different. So definitely you must have enjoyed this conversation of how the React behaves with the fundamentals and how the Angular behaves with fundamentals. We will have a lot of other things like how can React will have the routing, how comparison. I will give you the comparison videos as many as possible. If you can able to do your interviews within that, I am glad. Just give me a sweet box. I will be happy. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like my videos. No, sir, I want to learn from everything from the scratch. Then Edupoly is the best place to learn from the scratch. Okay. There is no better place than this. I assure that. Every kin and corner I will be covering in the React as well as Angular, along with Node and Express also. So those people who are ever interested, I am open. Please ping us for your interest and consent. I am ready to give you all my knowledge to you. And I am open to you. Whatever your questions are, I am ready to answer. Please ping us. We will be forwarding our videos where you can watch it and you can prepare your notes. I will forward my notes also so that we can have a good time. No questions? Suredra, మీకేం క్వశ్చన్స్ లేవండి? Don't you have any question?
ఒకే క్వశ్చన్, నాకు షాడో డామ్ కి రియల్ డామ్ డిఫరెన్స్ చెప్పగలుగుతారు?
Shadow DOM is just the duplicate of the real DOM.
రియల్ డామ్
ఏం లేదండి, చాలా సింపుల్. ఇప్పుడు రెండు రెఫరెన్స్లు క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటది అనమాట రియాక్ట్. సో వన్ ఈజ్ షాడో డామ్ అండ్ అనదర్ వన్ ఈజ్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు డామ్ లో ఏ అప్డేట్ అవుతున్నా సరే రియాక్ట్ ఈ షాడో డామ్ లో మెయింటైన్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఈ పని అయిపోగానే ఒరిజినల్ డామ్ ని ఈ షాడో డామ్ తోటి రీప్లేస్ చేసేస్తాం.
దట్స్ కాల్డ్ డిఫాల్ట్.
Yes. Straight away answer, it's a duplicate of original DOM. and the updates will be happened on the shadow DOM, in not actually on the original DOM. ఇప్పుడు రియాక్ట్ లో ఇప్పుడు ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అని క్లిక్ చేశాను. So first it will make the update in the shadow DOM, then it will replace that shadow DOM with the original.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. And of course, am I promoting too much today? Okay, fine.
No, that's very good. Sorry.
Just అంటే ఏం లేదు, I have worked a lot. I created lot of content only to help the community because I got the help from community. This is so here please try to get the ReactJS projects. So here beginner projects are there. There are so many beginner projects. Yes, can you see this? ReactJS beginner projects tutorial in Telugu. I gave lot of time on this. Each one is a very, very, very thought-provoking video. Okay, so it is around 2-3 hours of video is available there, and I have given the projects like very not innovative, I can say, which covers all the type of projects. Okay, see this. So how do you display the content in a conditional way? How do you display the content in the, what you say, this way? So these level of projects I could able to implement, and I have given them. So those people who really want to learn from the scratch, go with this. I'm telling you, you never repent. For example, those products which are already in the cart, I just made it as go-to cart. Like this is comes under conditional rendering. So if you are able to understand all these points with perfection, then it will be easier for you to understand Redux, React, routing, forms, all these things. This is another example. I have implemented everything. MCQ quiz app, complete quiz app I have implemented along with conditional rendering, event handling, and state management. Try to implement it and get the clarity of your on this one, right? So this is about me and about my approach. Please join our classes. You never take the step back, and it is very innovative and in-depth, in detailed. Okay. Please contact us for the today video recording as well as the notes. Last time I am trying to ask you, is there any question? I am open to answer that. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you all. See you in my classes. We are starting a class from Monday. If anybody interested, join from there. See you.